COVID-19 was an interesting one when I heard about it. You just think it was this far away thing and it wasn't really going to affect us. In fact, I was still traveling at the time, and when the thing had started globally, I wasn't wearing a face mask, and you're just sort of like, okay, it's not really going to be affecting us. And then you start hearing the stories and you're like, okay, the fact that I own a restaurant and we interact with customers and we have to see people, it's so important for us to think about their safety. So very early on, even before Nigeria really made big announcements, we had to put out something. I wrote a letter to all our customers. We started temperature checks. We started putting hand sanitizers. So it's something that safety was important to us. So we had to take action. But honestly, I didn't think we'll have to close. I really didn't think we'll have to close, and then the reality began, and then we had to close. So yeah, that's sort of how COVID-19 descended on us.
My name is Fabian at Lojede. I'm an actor, writer, and producer, and I run a film production company and advertising consultancy agency. I'm a news junkie, so I was following the news very early on. And like I think a lot of people, I thought it would just be contained within Asia and Europe, and it probably wouldn't get to Africa. It's greatly affected work. We've had a few jobs being postponed, cancelled. I mean, no one's really taking on any kind of new investment right now, so it's actually quite scary, because no one can tell you, how this thing is going to really play out.
One morning I woke up and I felt ill. At first I was in denial, and I got up, went to work, and got into my group.
We're having this conversation about what next, how do we develop this framework, and he coughed. And I knew it wasn't a regular cough. And I'm like, Okulada, what's happening? He said, alright, I've been having this cough and chest pain. That in fact, Fisayo cannot even join us today in the office because he is really down.
Coincidentally, in my group also, there were people that were complaining of the same symptoms that I had. But everybody was sort of like holding it. They didn't, because, I guess also because of the stigmatization, and also the fact that you'll be told not to come to work if you had it, and everybody wanted to continue to do their work.
For the three of us to come down at the same time with this, then something must be wrong. We need to get tested. I think I actually insisted that we should get tested.
The head of the team came in and looked at me and said, "Are you ill?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "What symptoms do you have?" And I told him. And he said, "You need to get tested today." And that was when I realized that, okay, this was serious. We worked together in different capacities, under different circumstances. And I think what binds us together the most is our passion for the healthcare industry and how we can put our own little quota to improve it. Nobody knows about this disease, Nobody knows when it's going to turn. Nobody knows the pathophysiology. Nobody knows the treatment. It's not like malaria that that if you use the drugs, after a few days you'll get better. But despite that, people started calling. And I remember that when a few people called, of course the news broke out because my whole team fell. We were like 11 in the team, and I think 10 people got it.
So it's now been about a month I've been home on this lockdown. And I've been spending most of my time just trying to think through how small businesses like my company Newly would get through this. We're a food service business, so we're lucky that one way or the other we're considered essential, so we're open. But we still have revenues down over 98% or more.
We have a boss that cares for her staff, that she had to even pay us a certain percentage of our salaries while we were at home. That was really, really helpful for us, and it wasn't really an easy period. It's even difficult talking about it right now because it brings back some memories that are not very nice.
It was really important to me to keep my people working, and at least keeping them in jobs, keeping them having a livelihood and having some money to take care of themselves and their families. And it was very tough because we didn't have the revenues that were coming in to support our workforce. So it's just had to think creatively, everything from making people work shifts, so 1 week on, 1 week off, and that way they could still get some salary, but knowing that it's not as much, but they still had a job. Making sure folks, even if we couldn't pay you, make sure we got some food items to take care of them, their families. So that's sort of how we looked at it, and just tried to balance it all and made sure people were in jobs. Yeah, it's something we're still balancing. So yeah.
I'm a creative, so I'm used to solitude and living in my head. But I'm very conscious of the fact that it's affecting, especially my kids. They can't understand why they just can't go out the way they used to. They can't understand why they can't go to school.
The coronavirus is not going away, and if God's not taking it, I asked God to take away the coronavirus, and it's still not going away.
Some of the most frustrating experiences really, I think, for me was just not being able to have physical connections with people. I am somebody who likes going out, meeting people, having conversations, learning, interacting, and I couldn't do that, and I can't do that now. So it really is frustrating. Yeah, it's one of the biggest things.
Before my results came out, I knew that I had the infection. The symptoms deteriorated. I started feeling weak. I started with the headaches, with the sore throat, with the cough.
When we realized that as a restaurant we could start serving our customers through deliveries, we found a way to make sure we were getting on that train. Unfortunately for us, we do have a few stores that are within office buildings, so that's revenue that's completely disappeared because people are just not back in the office yet. Look at me, I'm working from home myself. So that's something I have to keep thinking about, of how do you regain those revenues through doing something differently. Everyone uses the word pivot. But for now, it's maintaining the customers we have, those who are still going into the stores and buying, those who are calling us up on the phone to order and we're delivering to them, those who are going on our app on their phones to actually download our app and order. And we're really grateful for that patronage.
You know, I really need to appreciate Benjamin because he was, Benjamin was a good, he was a good support for me in that period. A lot of people underestimate the power or the influence that people that help you around the house have?
At the first time of it, I thought it was a joke. So later on, the way I'm getting it, it seems serious. So I couldn't get myself because it's like something is out of me. Because I can't see him, and he can't talk to me as usual. And the way he gets himself away from me, asking me to put on my face mask and other things, I was like, I'm lost. Because it's only one that I can do it here. It's my dad, it's my everything here, but I can't do with him. I can't do without him. I can't. I don't want to go back to that memory. Serious. I don't want to go back to that memory. It was so hard. It was so hard, please.
It's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's fine. We're okay now. It's okay.
Perhaps the advantage is that we can press a reset button, in terms of what's the most important thing. For me, it's obvious that, just personally, family, family, health, nothing seems to be more important than that right now, which means that is the most important thing in life.
The way things have changed, you have to really see the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's always a silver lining in everything. And I think that what this pandemic has done for us is really completely to reset and take everything from the drawing board, a blank sheet of paper, and say, how do I just start over? And I think that's a good thing, because starting over means you can do things that were wrong, you can do it better and make it right.